In the icy heart of the Himalayas, beyond the reach of roads and reason, whispers speak of a beast. It's massive, hairy, human-like, the Yeti. For centuries, its haunted stories baffled scientists and inspired countless expeditions. Is this the last undiscovered species on Earth, or the greatest myth humanity ever created? This is not just a mystery. It's the ultimate puzzle of myth, nature, and science. The origins of the Yeti stretch back over 10,000 years, long before the term cryptid existed, long before modern nations were carved into mountains. The first mentions of the Yeti are found not in books, but in breath. The oral traditions of the Sherpas, the Tibetan monks, and the indigenous people of Bhutan, Sikkim, and Nepal. The Tibetan word Yeti translates roughly to rocky place beast or cliff-dwelling bear. It's here that the semantic roots begin, not in apes or monsters, but in something natural and dangerous. The Yeti, in its earliest versions, wasn't just a physical being, but a supernatural one. Stories from the Mani Kabum, a 12th century text central to Tibetan Buddhism, describe how a celestial monkey mated with a demoness, and their offspring became both humans and Yetis, half divine, half beast, reflecting both the dangers and blessings of nature. In Bhutan, the Yeti is called the Migoi, meaning wild man. But unlike the Hollywood version, the Migoi is often invisible and capable of walking backwards to confuse trackers. It's not just a creature, it's a spirit guide, an omen, a shadow of the forest that guards sacred land. Sherpas in Nepal often depict the Yeti as a guardian of nature. The glaciers are its kingdom, and its job is to protect the balance. Disrespect the mountains, and the Yeti will come for you. These aren't just ghost stories. They're coded environmental ethics, reminders that the land demands respect. The West stumbled onto the Yeti in the 19th century. In 1832, Brian Houghton Hodgson, a British naturalist in Nepal, recorded seeing a large, bipedal creature covered in dark fur. He assumed it was an orangutan, even though they don't live in the Himalayas. This marks the first documented European Yeti sighting. Major Lawrence Waddell, in 1889, found strange footprints during an expedition. Though he dismissed them as bear tracks, his report fueled the growing fascination. But it wasn't until the 1921 British Everest reconnaissance expedition that the Yeti exploded into public consciousness. Charles Howard Bury reported wild tracks at high altitudes. His Sherpa guides called the creature Meto Kangmi, which journalists translated poorly as abominable snowman. The term stuck, and the Yeti entered the realm of tabloid legends. Eric Shipton's 1951 photo of a 13-inch footprint on the Menlung Glacier is arguably the most famous Yeti evidence ever captured. Published in major newspapers, it sparked the first wave of serious Western scientific and military expeditions. From the 1950s to the 1980s, Yeti fever consumed mountaineers and scientists. Expeditions were sponsored by media houses, governments, and wealthy adventurers. Tom Slick, an oil tycoon who funded 3 expeditions, once reported hearing howls believed to be from a Yeti. Peter Byrne, hired by Slick, even claimed to have recovered a Yeti hand from Pangboche Monastery. The finger was later smuggled to London with the help of actor Jane Stewart. Reinhold Messner, the legendary climber, claimed he saw a Yeti in 1986. He later concluded it was a Himalayan brown bear, publishing a book titled My Quest for the Yeti. Footprints, tufts of hair, supposed scalps, and bones were all collected. None proved conclusive, but none were ever fully debunked either. As technology advanced, so did the investigation. The biggest leap came with DNA testing. In 2014, Brian Sykes tested over 30 samples believed to be from Yetis. Most turned out to be from bears, Himalayan brown, Asiatic black, and even a horse. 2 samples matched the DNA of a 40,000-year-old polar bear, raising speculation about a hybrid species. In 2017, a team led by Charlotte Lindquist at the American Museum of Natural History examined 9 new samples. 8 matched known bear species. 1 came from a domestic dog. It seemed like the final nail in the coffin, but doubts remained. Why do so many locals, trained climbers, monks, soldiers, report sightings? How do so many people mistake bears for bipeds? Experts explain how bear tracks deform in melting snow, creating a humanoid footprint illusion. But this doesn't explain sightings of creatures walking upright at night. Let's talk science fiction and possible science fact. Gigantopithecus, this extinct ape, lived in Asia about 2 million to 200,000 years ago. Fossils discovered in China show a creature that could stand 10 feet tall and weigh over 600 pounds. Could it have migrated north and survived in Himalayan isolation? Paleontologists are skeptical. Gigantopithecus was likely quadrupedal and bamboo-eating. Still, some scientists argue that myths like the Yeti could be distant ancestral memory encoded in oral tradition. In 2008, a case in Arunachal Pradesh made national news. A man found dead near a military road site showed signs of trauma. No claw marks, but his neck was broken. Locals blamed the Yeti. Indian Army troops in 2019 reported large footprints near Makalu base camp, each over 32 inches long. Despite photos, experts dismissed them as bear prints distorted by snowmelt. Meanwhile, villagers across Nepal, Bhutan, and India continue reporting sightings. Some stories include shadowy figures crossing glaciers at night, creatures throwing stones at campsites, and hair samples collected from mountain caves. The Yeti may not exist in the way people once believed, but that doesn't mean it isn't real. The legend is deeply rooted in culture, psychology, and environmental respect. As of 2025, fewer than 15% of Himalayan species have been genetically cataloged. New species are discovered every year: frogs, insects, even mammals. So maybe, just maybe, something like the Yeti could still exist in some forgotten crevice. What if the Yeti is not a creature, but a mirror, a reflection of our deepest fears, wildest hopes, and the primal need to believe in something greater than ourselves? In every tale, every track, every shadow in the snow, the Yeti lives. Let's protect the real wonders of the Himalayas: snow leopards, red pandas, rare orchids. Support conservation groups like the WWF or Snow Leopard Trust. Subscribe to our channel for more investigations into cryptids, legends, and the strange corners of science. Drop your theory in the comments. Have you ever seen something you couldn't explain? Maybe you saw the Yeti and didn't even know it.